Okay, good morning once again. I welcome you to today's class. I believe you can be able to see my screen. My background is a little bit not the best. I'm seated in Mulago School of Public Health. That's where I'm attending this class from, and also there's I think some work going on in the neighborhood, and yet this is the best place where we can have this class. Okay, so this morning we are going to look at something very important. I told you last week this is going to be the recap that we are going to be doing, and in this recap we shall look at how can you analyze data, or how can you present data in a report. That is basically what we are going to be looking at jointly this particular morning and also afternoon. We are not going to take a very long time, but we would like all of us to understand what we are going to be doing. And also, I think we are going to have our coursework also come from this particular part. By this particular part, I'm meaning it's going to have this data analysis, how you can write a report. That is basically what we are going to be looking at. Okay? Okay, so before we go straight and start analyzing data, it is always very important for you to know what kind of data are you analyzing, how are you presenting your data, what statistical information do you need from the data. That is the reason why we are beginning from this particular point. Remember, it is a process. Data analysis is a process. And for you as a project manager, as a project coordinator, you should know that it does not start right away with data analysis. There are processes that you take that leads you into data analysis. Number one, it starts from the need. What is the need for the data? That is from the planning, okay? Then number two, you develop the questionnaires, okay? Or the data collection tool. Very, very important. The questionnaire or the data collection tools, we are going to look at what kind of the data collection tools do we need when you're dealing with the qualitative, when you're dealing with the quantitative, we are going to look at that as well. After the questionnaires, I'm calling questionnaires, but we can call it tools, okay? Then you also make a decision here. Am I using an online data collection tool, or am I using the paper-based data collection tools, okay? Online normally is better. I will show you the simplest. I'm going to give you how best you can learn on your own, okay? How to develop a questionnaire or to upload a questionnaire on Kobo Collect or Kobo Toolbox, okay? After you have developed it, you collect the data, okay? After collecting the data, that is step number 4. Step number 5, you clean. Normally, I don't take this as a very, very big activity because as you're collecting, you're ensuring that the cleaning is already being done. After the cleaning, this is now analysis. Even at analysis, you need to make a decision. Am I using what statistical software? Am I using Excel? Am I using SPSS? SPSS means statistical package for social scientists, okay? That is SPSS. Am I using MATLAB? Am I using RedCap? Am I using as many as possible? Am I using SAS? Personally, I am very good at using Starter and then SPSS, okay? That is basically what I normally use. Then from there, you start making a decision of the report. So we are looking at the types of statistics, okay? We have descriptive statistics, and then we have what is called inferential statistics. So when you collect the data, that I'm now explaining the line which is below. When you collect the data, the main reason is for you to analyze that data, then be able to make conclusions on it. Okay? By making conclusion on the data, that is what we call you're making inferences. If you are collecting data from just a section of the population, that is what we call sampling or survey. Okay, you're doing a survey because you're collecting data from just a sample of the overall population. If you are collecting data, and of course at that point of a survey, you have to do what is called a sample size determination or sample size calculation to know out of the people or out of the units that I need to collect data from, I need to reach out to this percentage or this number. Okay, very, very important. That is what we call sampling. Okay, or sample size calculation. However, there are cases where you also collect data from the whole population, from everyone in an area. That is what we call the census or a census approach. Census approach is where you go and be able to collect data from all the people or all the units within. Okay? If you are doing a data collection on, for example, agricultural aspect or farming, okay? You go in a place, and if you're using a census approach, you're going to interview all the farmers in that particular area. However, if you're doing just a survey where you don't need to collect data from all of them, you're going to get a number of those farmers that you're going to interview. Let's go on. So the advantages of statistical methods in evaluations, we have the clear, explicit research methods, focus on valid or reliable measurement, economically viable due to sampling methods, explicit communication of substantive significance, assessment of confidence in results, confidence intervals, confidence, okay? We have the types of statistics. I'm just going very fast. I'm just going to be summarizing this. Since you're going to get these slides, you can always do more, okay? We have what is called descriptive statistics, which describes the basic features of data in a study, okay? This one describes the basic features, the very basic features. It provides trends of what is going on with the data and also enable evaluators present large data sets in manageable forms. So with descriptive statistics, you are looking at what is the trend, what is the direction, what is coming out strongly in the data. If they're males or females, you state it, you're describing, okay? What is the age group of the people, okay? You're just describing it. And we are saying descriptive statistics help the evaluator visualize data in simplified form. We shall look at that. Descriptive statistical analysis, therefore, is very critical during initial stages of any quantitative data analysis, since it shows what the data is like. Now, when we're doing descriptive statistics, we have these three giants called the measures of central tendencies. In fact, when you're doing data analysis, especially quantitative analysis, you focus the descriptive statistics, you focus more on these three. Are you presenting the mean, the median, the mode, or the standard deviation? Sometimes it's presented concurrently with those. Then we have the measures of variability above the averages. That is the standard deviation. If I speak like this, you may not understand them since you're not a statistician, but the intention is to simplify for you to be able to understand. And that is why we are learning this, okay? We're going to do this practically and you will see how easy it is. So what are the basic statistical methods? They are here. We have the mean, median, mode, and the range, okay? The measures of the central tendencies. If you have a data, you see this illustration on the right-hand side. If you have your ungrouped data like that, and your intention is to measure what is the mean, what is the median, what is the mode, and so on and so forth. Normally, what happens is you organize them from the smallest to the highest, even if you do from the highest to the smallest. But what is recommended is from the smallest to the highest, and then you'll be able to move in that line. Okay? So here we have arranged them from the smallest, that is 13, again 13, again 13, 13, 14, 14, 16, 18, and 21. If we want to know what is the median, what is the mean? What is the mean? Okay? The mean means you sum up all the items and you divide by the number. What does that mean? You're going to sum up 13 plus another 13 plus 13, 13 plus 14, 14, 16, 18, 21. You divide by the number, you count the number. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You divide it by 9. You get the mean is 15. If it is a median, it is also simple, okay? Since you have arranged them in order, you just cancel 30, the first 13 with the 21, the second 13 with 18, the third 13 with 16. And then you have the last 13 with 14 there. Then what remains is the middle number. So the median is what divides the data set into two equal parts. I repeat, the median is what divides the data set into two equal parts. Remember, we're looking at data which is ungrouped, okay? The mode is the one that appears most. Very simple. The range is simple. The highest minus the smallest. That is 21 minus 13, you get 8. Okay? I will share with you a book which has summarized guides. If you do the mean, how do you go through that? I will share with you a book which is used, but this is used for statisticians, okay? But doesn't stop you from learning to know what is important to you. What we see here is a graphical. Colleagues, are you hearing me well? Can you hear me well? Please confirm to me because my background, as the people who are doing work in the area.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Good, let's continue. So this is a graphical form of how you present data, okay? I'm going to show you whether it is okay for you to present it like this, like the way you see it, or not. On my end, normally what I do, I summarize it I do it in such a way that the highest appears followed by the one which is the next in that order up to the graph which is the smallest, okay? We're going to do that, don't worry. This one is just a graphical presentation which is very simple. This is another one which is a pie chart, okay? By the time we are leaving today or this class, you will all be experts in this one. And like I told you earlier on, this is where your coursework is going to come from. What I will be interested in looking at how organized your work is. Do you know how to explain it? How organized it is? We're going to test ourselves in that particular direction or in that particular line. We shall look at the pie charts, don't worry. The measures of the central tendencies, the mean, the definitions is there. That one, not going to explain much. Even the median, I've already explained it. It is what divides the data set into two equal parts. Okay. Okay. The mode is the one which appears most. Okay. we have these parts which I'm also not going to explain, but we are also going to look at it practically. When we do the analysis, we shall see the skewness, okay? But when we talk about distributions, this is where we look at. In statistics, the distributions are further broken down. We have platycartic, mesocartic, and there's one called, yeah, there's another one, which I've forgotten for now. Okay, how this how the skewness is normally we have when you say data is positively skewed, you can see that the tail here is on the positive direction, meaning majority of the data sets are in the positive direction. When they say the data set is negatively skewed, it is also like that. But we're going to run simple analysis in Excel and it will give us this. Okay, the dispersion, the variance, the range. We're not going to talk much about this. There's a document I want us to look at. How do you present those graphs, those pie charts? Okay. There's a document, I got it from LinkedIn, but it's very important before we start the analysis. Okay. Let me just look at it. LinkedIn documents. Data presentation, data analysis, data quality assurance, quality assessment. Let me get this. Indicator guides, no. Analysis, okay. I'm just getting it, the exact one, so that this one. Good, very good. This thing is data visualization. This is the one needed. It's a simple guide. I need to get at least two. This is second one. This one is in terms of words. But they are very good documents that you can always use when you're visualizing data. Well, this one is important. I'm going to share the screen, don't worry. How to choose data visualization, horizontal charts, area charts, very important. Okay. Let me share them. You'll find them on WhatsApp, but I'm going to also project them here. Okay? Let me drop them on our WhatsApp. How to visualize data in various ways. I've shared a lot of them. There are like around five. You will get them. But for now, let's focus on these ones that I'm going to present. So this, I'm sharing my screen. So this one talks about which chart do you need to present, okay? And when. Choosing the right charts, okay? You can see, do I need a bar graph, a line graph, a donut chart, area chart? Do I need the one, this one, is it called the heat chart? And so on and so forth. This is called the web, this is called the dot charts. We are going to look at them, the funnel charts. You can be as innovative as possible, okay? Depending on how good you are. These are things you can actually learn on your own. What you're going to be looking at now is just what? A guide. If you look at the bar chart, okay? This is a bar chart. You can see these ones are presented in different colors, which look also appealing. We shall also see what works for us, okay? Now we are saying, what is the type of data here which you present for this, where you have to draw a bar chart like that? It is used for categorical data and quantitative. I'm going to explain this. When you're looking at categorical data is data presented in categories, okay? For example, when you're selecting, when you're doing an interview, you ask a respondent, are you male or female? That means that is a categorical data with the categories of a male, that is category 1. Category 2, we have female. Then 2, you also ask for what is your age group. Remember age group. We have age. Age is a continuous data, okay? Age is a continuous data, but age group is a categorical data because you have from maybe 10 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and so on and so forth. That is what we call categorical data, and it's done for quantitative. You can do income range or income category, okay? Where you look at someone's earning, okay? You can also look at the religious affiliations or the religion of somebody. Someone is either Catholic, someone is either Pentecostal or born again. Someone can be an Orthodox, someone can be an Islam or Muslim. You see that? Some people, they also add, I don't know, to cater for those who may not be knowing if their categories falls in any of those, any of the ones mentioned, okay? All those are what we call categorical data, data which is in categories. Another example which can look at is, we can also look at what? We can look at something else also. For example, we can look at the category of the number of children, okay? Maybe 0 to 2, 3 to 5, 6 to, those are the categories still. We can also look at the education level, where someone is from not educated. Then you have primary and below, okay? Primary and below, meaning you have catered for ECD, you have catered for or nursery, also primary and below. You can also have secondary. That means now from senior 1 up to senior 6. Primary and below is anything below below secondary, okay? You can also have tertiary. You can have vocational, okay? And so on and so forth, depending on what you're studying. All that, those are under categorical data. You can also have, let me give an example. The last one is what? You can also give the job titles, officer, coordinator, or coordinators, managers, directors, etc. Those are all categories, which forms what is called categorical data. When to use it, use a bar chart to compare data across categories. When it shows display, all that. When to avoid it, avoid using a bar chart when there are too many categories or if the data is continuous, okay? If the data is continuous. The continuous data, we have data like age. We have data such as weight, height, temperature reading. We also have what? Number of people. You don't present for those. They are going to be too many, too crowded. Okay? We're going to see it as we move on. We have the line chart types of data. This is continuous. Some people call it time series. Okay, we shall see that also. The donut chart, when do you use it? Categorical still, which is normally proportional, like almost equal to each other. Okay, that's what we are talking about. That's the donut chart. We shall draw all those charts. When to use it is there. Scatter plots, when to use it. Continuous, bivariate, don't worry of the language. Area chart, when to use it. Continuous still. I think you need to know what is the difference between continuous data and then categorical. That is the most important thing. This is histogram, continuous. Okay, so you have this in your on WhatsApp. You're going to have it when you're analyzing data. Question number one, you need to ask yourself: do I have a continuous data here? Do I have a categorical? And the way you analyze them is always different. Okay, so let's go and look at. I have some data set here, which I have pasted here. Okay, which is going to support our learning. I told you, please, when you can learn from somebody, it's well and good. Okay, you can also learn from somebody. Just trying to. This is a data set. It's hypothetical. You know, hypothetical, assumed data set. I'm not saying this is the data maybe collected from these people. No, 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 no. And I'm going to give you an hypothetical data set for your coursework. The intention is to learn. Okay. Okay. So this is the data set. So normally I always say this is original. This is me now. We are going to use, I'm going to use this data set. I'm going to use this for our learning. Okay. I'm going to use this for our learning. But also after this Excel, I will also run starter. Okay. I'll run starter. On my computer here, I have starter. It's this one. Okay, this one I've clicked. This is starter, version 15.1. I also have Epidata. You see, Epidata is used for data entry. I also have, I have a lot of softwares. Oh, I'm not presenting my screen. Sorry. You guys are not alerting me. Let me first remove the presentation, which is on. There's a presentation on. Okay, it's removed. And I can share screen. Peace, Evelyn. How are you doing? You have been so quiet and lost. Is everything okay? Peace, is everything okay?
All is well, sir.
Okay. From the central part of Africa. There are some two people who reached out and they said they will join the class slightly later. Please, if someone reaches out to you and tells you that please support me, support. By you supporting anybody, you're not losing, okay? You're gaining a lot. Okay. So this is a data set in Excel. Like I was telling you, it's an assumed data. The first step when you see a data set like this, I've named it as original data set. Okay. And we are going to analyze that data together. This is Excel. This is data set in Excel, okay? This is a data set which has been given to you in Excel. When you go for interviews these days, interviews for M&E, they can send you a data set in Excel, then you have to analyze. Or they can send you a data set in what? In a CSV file, which is still Excel also. You have to convert it to a workbook, then you can analyze. Now, when you look at a data like this, the first thing you need to do is study your data set. Okay? Study your data. Let me put the steps here. Okay? Steps. Number one. Study your data set. Your data set. By studying your data set, you want to see what are the variables available. You know, by variables, you're looking at, okay, this is the ID. And you want to also see what is the sample size, okay? How do you know the sample size? Let me first restrict the heading here. Okay. Review. I want to keep the heading so that it doesn't move. So you can see I've done that. So the heading is not moving. I've restricted it there. Okay. So you study the data set by looking at this is the ID. What is the sample size? The sample size you can. Some people go and then okay, you can scroll down because this one has a number. Okay, there are 200. Okay. There are 200. When you're giving a description to this data, remember we have not yet started analyzing the data. Okay? You describe your data. That is step number 2. Okay? You look at how many variables are there. This is the ID. This is a variable 1, variable 2, variable 3, 4, 5, 6 variables. Okay? You study. That is all about studying your data set. Here we have variable, we have age, the gender, we have males and females, age at first driving, meaning the age at which someone started driving. This is a categorical data that is still under studying your data set. You're looking at very quick things. Okay, categorical. This is categorical. This is continuous. I'm going to highlight whatever is continuous. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to highlight these two because they are continuous, okay? And I will show you how easy you can analyze those ones. Very easy, okay? Okay, so those are continuous. Then the categorical ones, I have this ID, you don't mind. That is just showing you the number of them. This is a continuous. This is a continuous. This is another continuous, and this is another continuous. Why is this one continuous and this one is not? This one you have, why is this one categorical? This is categorical, 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 and another categorical. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 variables are categorical. And again, you have 2 variables are continuous, okay? Step number 2, you describe. You remember what we talked about? Described the data. Okay? You describe the data. Step number 3, you, if possible, clean. You clean the data. Okay? And then step number 4, analyze the data. Analyze the data. And then step number 5 is report on the data. Analyze and visualize. Okay? Then you report on the data. Now, cleaning the data is looking at, do I have any missing variable so that you can be able to clean? My background. Think I needed. Let me try to get another space here, and I try if this is going to work out for me well. Okay, let me extend a little bit here. Okay. So we can continue. So here I'm looking at what happens if you're cleaning the cleaning the data. Still under studying your data set, you look at, do I have any missing variable or not? Okay, you look at all of them. By missing variable, what do I mean? For example, if here you have removed something there, there's nothing missing. There's something missing here. Okay, here, that point which I've highlighted yellow. Okay, you need to look at all those and you see if your data set is clean or not. Okay, that is what you mean. And any other thing, when data is missing, it becomes very hard to deal with it. Okay, okay, so let me go straight and then we start by running the analysis and visualization of the data. Okay, very, very important. We are going to use the same, and the step we are going to do, we shall use what is called the pivot table. Okay? We are going to use what is called the pivot table. I'm going to analyze the very data. And please look at, this is one thing I normally do. I duplicate the same data. You can analyze the same, or you may not analyze the same. You may duplicate it so that you can have it. I've duplicated, then I'm going to say analyzed data set. I've renamed it like that. I'm removing this part. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to analyze. This one means some people rename it as clean data set. No problem. Okay. Let me analyze all those. I start by analyzing one at a time. When you're analyzing one variable at a time, in the language of statistics, we call it univariate analysis. Why? Because you're analyzing gender, you give the results for it. You analyze age, you give the results for it. Age category, you give it. Accident status, you give it. Accident recorded, yes or no, you give it. That is called univariate analysis. And at this point, we are going to end at univariate, but also bivariate, cross tabulations for your case, okay? We're going to use, we have univariate, we have bivariate, and we have multivariate, okay? But let's go one step at a time. So, step number one, I want to analyze the age, the gender, okay? Let me first analyze the categorical. Let me first analyze categorical. When you're analyzing categorical, let me give it as steps here. Still, I don't want to categorical. When you're analyzing categorical, we use a frequency distribution table. Okay? Simple. When you're analyzing continuous, we use the descriptive statistics. Okay? Statistics. Some people call it central measures. Measures of central tendencies. Okay. Okay, so we are going to do categorical first. By categorical, I told you you need to first analyze, you need to first know what is your categorical data. And the first one we are starting is the gender. We are using pivot table. Okay. So this is what I do. Look at what I'm going to do and don't get confused. Step number one is highlight everything. Are you seeing where I've highlighted from? Is everyone seeing this part highlighted in gray? This part here, this one here. Are you all seeing? Please unmute and tell me yes or no.
Yes.
This part here.
Yes.
Is my cursor moving? There's this part here, gray. It is a triangular shape. When you put your cursor there, it highlights everything. I hope you have seen it. Not so? So that one helps to highlight everything. Some people, this is what some people do. Some people, they do Control A, okay? They press Control A. Yes, it also highlights Control A, but that Control A has a disadvantage also. If you have missing information, there are some parts of your data set which will not be selected. That is why I normally recommend you use this one when you want to highlight everything. Even when you want to change the color, just highlight everything and then I change the coloring of my data. Okay? Okay? Yeah. So I'm going to highlight everything. Then I move to insert, which is here, because we are using what is called pivot tables. Some of you might have not learned this anywhere. Some of you might have learned it. But if you have not, today you're going to understand and you will see how simple pivot tables are. Okay? So I repeat the same procedure. I highlight everything. I go to insert. There is this first part called pivot tables. I click on it. It gives me that what is called a dialog box. Now it is telling me, before I click anywhere, it is telling me we have selected table range. That one is already selected. By you click, you can see this part which is blinking, moving. You can see it. Okay, so sorry. It has already selected the part or all the data that you'd like to analyze. Okay. You don't need to do that. 2, it is asking you. Remember, I've not yet clicked anything here. It is asking you. Choose where you want the pivot table to be placed. Okay. Is it in a new worksheet? Is it in an existing worksheet? And here, since you're doing it for the first time, it is better to choose the new worksheet. Okay. Now, in the other subsequent areas is where you can put what existing, because you already have it. So what I have done so far, I'm not going to change anything. I will just click OK. Okay. Okay. It brings for you that dialog box. I mean, we have this pivot table fields on the right hand side, and we have on the left hand side, you have the pivot table, meaning you're going to be seeing what you select. The rest of the things here are very simple. You just keep playing with things here. For example, if I click the ID, it tells me there. Do I analyze the ID? No. If I click the gender, that is the gender. You can see males there. I hope you're seeing what is happening on this side. Are you seeing what is happening on this side?
Yes.
Very good. If I click age at what, depending. So that is the gender. Since we're analyzing gender only, I'm going to pull or drag the same gender here to values to give me how many males and then how many females. Simple, very easy. Have you all understood up to where we are? What has been done? Colleagues, have you all understood?
Kindly repeat the dragging.
Kindly repeat the dragging. Who is that? Who is speaking?
This is Joy, Lisa.
Very good. Very good. Don't worry, Joy. Don't worry. Don't worry. We are here to repeat. I'm going to, someone said something in the chat. Your screen is not showing. Is it now or it was before? No, kindly repeat the pivot table. Okay, good. Don't repeating the pivot table, which also includes repeating the dragging. Okay, don't worry. This is what happens. This now here, I already have my pivot table. I'm renaming it, okay, as my pivot table here. Okay, I'm renaming it here. So we have original data set, analyzed data set, pivot table. Some people put it as analysis. No problem. No problem. Okay. So long as you're doing the right thing, there's no problem. I'm repeating. Analyze data set. I said step 1, you highlight everything, which is that. Step number 2, move your cursor to insert up there. We have file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, blah, blah, blah. My intention is on insert. The first item under insert on the right on the left-hand side, we have pivot tables, and it brings that. Okay, simple. Then I click OK if I'm doing it for the first time. But remember now, I'm not doing it for the first time. I already have the existing worksheet, which is called the pivot table, which I've renamed. So I'm going to click on existing. Then I move my cursor there and press it there. Okay, existing. Okay, simple. Then we are going to, we are analyzing gender. We are repeating the same we did. I click on this box. There's this box here. I click on it, it brings. If I remove it, it gets off. I click on that box, or I tick it, or I mark it. The language doesn't matter. What matters is there, do you doing the right thing? Okay? I hope you're seeing. Even if you click outside here, but normally the current versions of the Excel we use, it just brings us a box. I hope we are clear up to where we are. Joy, are we okay up to where we are?
Yes, we are okay. Thank you.
Very good. So if you have you have ticked it or checked that box, the next step is you drag. By dragging means you put your cursor here. You see my cursor is that one moving. If I bring it here on gender, the way it is here, this is my cursor. If I bring it here on gender, the way it is. If you want to know you're doing the right thing or not, you can first drag it anywhere. Where? First drag it here, you see what is going to happen. Okay? You can also remove it from there. I'm removing it. Then, I shake it there. Then I'm dragging it. Just a second. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. So I said, if you check that box, you'll be seeing what is happening on the left-hand side. That is the pivot table now. You'll be seeing what is happening there. So the dragging, put your cursor there on that very word gender. If you're dragging, why is it on the rows? Okay. If you're dragging, I'm moving it to values because I want to get the values for the females, the values for the males. I'm just dragging it. If you have a cursor, okay. Dragging is very easy. So I'm dragging it by moving it here to the values here, and I drop it there. You can see the other side it creates that there are this number of males, there are this number of females. Okay? Joy, are we okay? Joy, are we okay? Very good. She has said she has understood. Well, now, if you want, you can leave it like that and you just organize your table. Okay? If you want, you can leave it like that and you just organize your table. Some people, this is what some people do, which is also not wrong. Instead of getting, remember here we are getting, or we already have, the counts, which is the frequency. That's why I told you we have the frequency distribution table. And I want to make this one simpler for you. Okay? I personally, I also create normally another table here. This is what I normally do. Okay? And then I say here as what? Final analysis. This is now me. Okay? I make my work very simple and very easy. After doing the pivot table here, I copy this because in the frequency distribution table, and I always make my tables very organized. I'm going to remove the lines, those lines like that. I say here, we have the variable. After the variable, we have the frequency. What is the sample size? N is equal to 100. Is it 100? 200, sorry. That is. Then the third one, I have the percent or percentage, the same. This is what we call the frequency distribution table. Okay? And I make my what? I make my work very organized like that. I'll be continuing as I do the work. Very organized. And this is what I want you to do when it comes to the coursework. Okay? Make your work as organized as possible. Be as organized as possible. Okay? So here, the first variable we are dealing with is called gender. Okay, actually, let me add another one there. And then I say variable, then categories. Okay? So here, if I have gender, here, remember we had the males. Okay, the females and males, but I copy this from here. Okay? I copy it from there. Like that. Like that. This one, there's no rocket science. You can do it the way it is. Any way you understand it. I can merge this since they're all what? Under that gender categories. Okay, can do it. Sorry. Okay. Then the percentage. What is the percent of that? I do this one over 200. Then this one over 200. There are simpler ways you can do this. How? Let me show you. Then I just do this percentage. That is, if I want a decimal point, I can do it from here. If I don't want, it's okay. But let me maintain it without. Then I put my lines. Very simple. Okay? As simple as that. This is a very organized frequency distribution table. I told you how organized your work is what makes people believe in you, and it speaks a lot about you. Okay? That is it. Nothing to worry about. If I want to draw, let me do another one, the second one. Or I can, this one's, the variables are not very few. Okay? There is gender, there is accidental, blah, 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 then there is that also. I can copy all this. I take them there. Okay? I can take them there. Insert, transposed. I'm still not doing anything. I'm just trying to organize things to make my work move on faster. And you find some people present data which is very disorganized. The tables are looking shabby. Your table should be as organized as yourself. Okay? These are the different what? These are the data sets. The rest are the categories we're going to have there. Okay? Let me remove this, no field. Good. Okay, the next is accident record. So we are analyzing this accident record. Why have I left this? Someone may ask. These are continuous. They are in numbers. We are going to analyze them differently later on. So I'm analyzing this. I highlight everything again by clicking there. I go to Insert, Pivot Tables. Then I go to Existing because I already have it. I go where my pivot table is and I place it there. Okay? Then I click OK. You don't overclick things. I want to be seeing my pivot table as I do that. Okay. What was the variable? I look for where that variable is. If you cannot look for it, you can type it here if you don't know the name. Okay, but this is Jesus Christ. This is the variable. This is the variable accident record. Then I drag up to the values. If you want to know that you have not done the right thing, even when you drag it here, it will tell you. You can see how it appears. Are you seeing how it appears? Okay. If you drag it here, it will also show you that there's something that needs to be done. It will keep alerting you that what you're doing, something is not what? Something is not right, okay? Yeah, so it will keep alerting you and you see until you see the right thing. So that is it. I can copy that and take it the other side, okay? And copy this and I put it here, okay? There. Accident records, I'm going to merge here to make sure my work appears organized. Very, very organized thing. Now, when you do this at workplace, they will start wondering, what material is this person made of? If you want to know the percentage here, the other time I did it manually here, but I can also show you how you can do it easily. How? Come here, and then you sort. Right click, then you go to sorting. Show value as. You show value as percentage of grand total. It's that. I remove the what? The decimal places. How you remove, they're up here. Here. Okay? We have 42 and 59. Okay? Very simple. This is 42%. This is 59%. Very simple. The next, I have this. I'm now going to be a little faster because they seem to be easy now to you. Accident status. Okay? Still, I've highlighted everything. Insert, pivot tables, existing. See now how it becomes as very simple. Going to put it there. Okay. So I go to accident status, which is that. Then I drag. Just a second. There's a lot of noise from my background. Okay, so I normally remove this this blank from here. Okay, just click there and then I remove it. Then I do the drop down. I drag and I place it here. That is it. I copy this. Okay, copy. I go to my final. I paste it. It comes together with the values. If I want to do the percentage, also I copy. I go here and I change the percentage to make sure my work moves faster. I right click, then I go to show value as. That as grand, then I remove the decimal points. I can also copy that still. Instead of typing one by one, I put it there. Life is so simple when you know data analysis. I merge here. You see? This is like taking porridge and what? Simple. This is my frequency distribution table. I can have the last one here. I move it down there. And then I analyze it still. Already selected, insert, pivot tables. I think those of you who have not been knowing pivot tables, you can see how simple it is. Nothing is impossible.
Yeah, I want to
Now
ask something.
yes, let me finish this last one, then you can ask. age categories. I have this, then I drag it there. Very simple. Hmm. Copy this. Yes, Francis, you can now ask.
Not actually a question, but like is it possible that right in that P4 table I can start analyzing without creating another spreadsheet? Because I'm still creating, but it's possible that I can be right there and analyze, right?
Are you saying you start analyzing without yes, that's what I told
Yes,
you about here.
yes,
Means
yes,
all
because
this. Okay? Please don't mind. That one even makes your work easier. Don't say the lecturer told us you must create another spreadsheet. Don't say that. Okay?
yes, because that's why
Do what is simpler for you. Okay?
easier to lead there and just analyze.
Yes. So I'm going to explain what Francis is saying so that everyone keeps on alert. So everyone understands what's going on. Okay? My frequency distribution table is here. I make everything appears in the same font. I can say this is what? Arrow 11, simple, or 12, as simple as that. Then I copy this and put in a Word document. Now to help me write my report, okay? To help me write my report. Simple. This is what I want to see in your coursework. You do this, okay? Then you start, the next thing is to start description or describing your data. So Francis was saying, can he start by analyzing right from here without spreading without creating another spreadsheet? By spreadsheet is meaning this, and this. It's very possible. I have just done this to make sure my work is organized, but I've not said it must be like this the way I'm showing you. Okay? I'm just giving you an example or a guidelines, but the rest of the other things are should be as easy as possible. I hope that is clear. Colleagues, unmute and you tell me if so far up to where we are things are okay, because I have now done the frequency distribution table. I now want to show you how you can describe, how you can do the pie charts, how you can do the bar graphs, how you can do the donut chart, and what other charts, as many as possible. Is everything okay up to where we are? Ladies, is everything okay? The ladies are very silent today. As if what we are doing is too technical. It is not too technical. Anyone can do it. And you make free money. By the way, let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you something. If you know this, what we are studying here, you don't need rocket science, okay? What we are studying here, you don't need rocket science to understand them. Someone called me last night, one of the students, Makerere University School of Public Health, and said, we have some work which some research work we have been given. We wanted to advise us on what data we have to extract from the hospital records, put them together, and then you can analyze. I said, yes, let me come and guide you because I have always done some work here. I am known in Mulago. So I came, we agreed the price. How much are we doing? So we have agreed. The whole work is going to take what? 800. Simple. You see that? Very simple thing. Even you can do it. You get? Even you can do it at much ease. But these are doctors, medical doctors, because they don't know this. You get? At much ease. And these are the things, but they just need this frequency distribution table. Just this only. So the next time they call me, I will say, please reach out to this person, will help you. I share the number of Joy, I share the number of Francis, I share the number of Conrad, I share the number of Maiga. I said, reach out to any of these people. They will help you very, very easily. Arthur, Peace, Joshua, and all of you. Any of you, I just say, reach out to this person will help you. Why? Because you have gone through this. As simple as that. So if you are now describing your data, remember we talked about, we have not yet analyzed the what? We have not yet analyzed these ones here. These ones. I'm going to show you the simplest way to analyze this. Simple. Okay? If we are doing in starter, you just put a command, describe. It gives you this. Everything. If you're doing in starter, it gives you just describe, comma, D. Meaning describe the data, comma, give details. Okay? Then starter will give you the mean, the median, the mode, the skewness. Now, I'm going to use the simplest way in order to have all that part for these ones, one at a time. So I'm going to, I don't know, in some people's computers, they don't have under I think data. There's this last part, data analysis. If you don't know how, if you don't have it on your computer, are you seeing this part, data analysis? If you don't have this in your computer under data, go and ask YouTube, how can I bring data analysis in my computer? This part here, this one here, under data. This is what happens. Simple things. Okay. I go and click on. Let me first click on data analysis and I see. Then if you click on that data analysis, you see it gives you analysis tools. This is where people eat money for free using Excel. Okay? ANOVA, single factor, double factor, blah, 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 correlation, covariance, descriptive statistics, exponential smoothing, F-test, two sample for variances, Fourier analysis, histogram. My interest is in data analysis, this one here. Then I click on OK. Then it is going to ask me, select the data. Okay? Then I will go there and select. Where is the data? Data is here. I select here. Simple. Then I click OK. I select everything by clicking on C. Okay? Some people go start dragging from here. Just click on that C. It selects everything. Excel will sort it out. Then it tells you, do you need all this? I just need a summary statistics. Okay? It's even asking me here that it is even asking me output range. Do I need a new workbook or existing? Okay. I just click OK. I don't change anything there. Okay. Input range contains non-numeric data because I've selected the heading also. Okay. I can say it from C what? From C2. Okay. I can make it simple for myself. I just click there. Then I select it for myself. Sorry. Let me remove that. The input range. Then I can start from this, okay? Up to where the range of the data is. Up to there. Then I click it to bring it back, then okay. Yeah, so it has brought there here. You can see. It has brought what is the mean is that. The standard error, we are not interested in this. The median is this. The mode is this. The standard deviation is this. The sample variance, kurtosis, skewness, range, mean, median, sum, count. Count is the sample size, okay? We are interested in only two out of all these. That, the mean, Then the standard deviation. We are only interested in those two. Only. I'm going to show you. This one is for this one is age at first driving. Let me copy that and I put it there. Okay. Age at first driving. Start. Okay. So I'm going to do the second one, which is this one here. Accident per what? So let me select all. Let me go to data. You can see the steps to analyze the continuous and categorical are different. Okay. I just go and start by clicking data analysis, descriptive statistics. Okay. Then it tells me, please select the input range. I'm just selecting all these from there. I hope I've selected them all. Have I really selected them all? Yeah. So that one is also there. Okay. That one is also there. I can copy this and I take to the first one. Excel, when you're analyzing data with the Excel, it keeps on bringing a lot of dialog boxes. Don't worry about that, okay? So long as you're doing the right thing. Creating a lot of sheets. Here is, I'm just doing this heading, getting this heading here. I put it here, okay? I told you if you don't see that data analysis on your computer, go and ask YouTube. For now, YouTube to guide you, okay? Okay, so I'm only interested in this one. I will therefore go and start describing my data, okay? Now let me go and start describing my data here in my Word document, okay? I can say, now I'm describing while looking at what is on the table, okay? I can say, during the data collection exercise, comma, a total of 200 participants were surveyed. Let me say were surveyed in the month of, remember this is an assumed data set, in the month of July 2026 from, you can say, now I want to bring in now, start explaining each variable, okay? From the data, comma, majority of the respondents were males at 130. That 130 means the frequency, then the 65 is the percentage. While female respondents were 70 in bracket 35. I'm using a statistical language where I'm quoting both the percentage and the frequency. Okay? Okay. This one, accident record. Findings show that now I'm using the frequency, the accident record. Findings show that a total of 117 participants had at least an accident indicating 59%. Okay? Then you say among the different accident status, comma, among the now when you look at this, we have yes, someone is saying something. Someone is buying clothes for children or what? So if you look at this, you can say none. We may not explain none. Okay? We may explain this too. Okay? Okay? Yeah, we may explain that. And majority of the people who had an accident were this. Okay? So you explain it in that state. Okay? In that state. This is what we mean by describing the data. Where do I bring this other one? Where do I bring this these other parts of age at first? You can say the mean age at first driving was this, and standard deviation this. Okay, and me copy it somewhere so that I be seeing, but then I remove it. I'm explaining by saying the mean age at first driving was 25.96 years with SD 8.46, while the mean age, now I'm explaining the second one. Okay? I'm explaining the second one. Second one is what? While accidents per age, at first driving, the accidents per age, okay? One thing I like about dealing with the numbers is that you be enjoying. While the mean accident at first age was 1.73 with SD of 1.83. Yes, this is, you have already described your data. Okay, what is in the table? Can say other details about the respondents were as presented in the frequency distribution table below. Why I put below? Because I'm going to take it up. Okay? Then I can name here table 1. Okay? Frequency distribution table for study or survey participants. Okay? Yeah, simple. That one is already done. I can give the heading report on the data analysis exercise conducted in July 2026. So, Joy, is everything okay? I have just explained 1 or 2 lines. I have left some part there, just for purposes of our understanding. Is everything okay? Have we tried to do some justice to ourselves? What has someone said in the chat? Okay, good. Joshua, is everything okay? Is Joshua here? He was, okay, good. Julius, our friend from Lesotho, is everything okay?
Yes, sir.
Good. Just for us to be able to understand this and to know how it is done. Now, I'm going to kill so many birds using one stone. We have already done the pivot table. We have already done the frequency distribution table. We have already also done how to do the descriptive statistics. I want us to draw now the graphs. Okay? The graphs, it's not something cast on stone. Very simple. By the way, people confuse you with the numbers for nothing. Just go on your pivot tables and you run those graphs. How do you do it? Is how I'm going to do it now. Okay? How do you do it is how I'm going to do. The same pivot tables you have drawn, for example, for males and females. Okay? You can decide to draw it for numbers. You can decide to draw it for what? You can decide to draw it for frequencies. I mean, for percentages, sorry. I told you, you highlight the figures on the numbers only. If you want to change to percentages, then you go to summarize, show values as, then the grand total, okay? Then we want to do this. If you're drawing the graphs, this is what happens. Very simple. You highlight only that. Have you seen the one I've highlighted? The males, females, and their and the percentages. Then you go to insert. When you go to insert, there's this part here, recommended charts. When you click on recommended charts, there are so many. There's this one, which comes automatically, okay? If you want, you can use it. You can also be placing it there as you see what comes, okay? If that is your interest, okay? You can also go on and start looking at, do I do a line graph? Do I do a pie chart? Okay. If it's a pie chart, do I do this one, which is 3D? Do I do this one, which is a P of P, as they call it, the bar of P, then the donut, depending on what is in your interest, depending on what is good for you, ladies and gentlemen. If I do a pie chart, normally a pie chart you do for variables, which are not very many like that, okay? I'm assuming and I'm doing a pie chart. Now, the rest of the things is for me to organize my pie chart. I can click on it, then I change it, the format. The format here, depending on how I want it, okay? Some people want to do this, some want to do here, depending on what works for you best, okay? Okay? I cannot dictate, but you look at what works for you best, okay? If I have it there, I can even move this up. But how do I do it? I double click here. Then it brings for me this. I go, I take it up there on top. I can change this. The rest are just your own designs, okay? Can make it in white. Some people want to break it further to make sure this one appears there is a gap in between, okay? Like this. You just go and pull one away. Okay, let me pull it further like that. Okay, just all that is to make sure your work is organized. Then I put a title here. Okay, you can say the title is gender. gender of respondents. You can see, then I always do this. The highest, I quoted there. Then I said 65% were males. Okay? The rest of the things are just you and yourself. Then I can copy the same. How do you copy? Just click on any of this. Then Control C or copy. You put it on a Word document and explain. Okay? When you're explaining gender for the gender of respondents, you say figure 1. Remember the other one was table 1, but this is figure what? Figure 1. In the figure 1, you say pie chart showing the gender of respondents or respondents. Then you paste it there. You don't make it to be so big. You can reduce it a bit. Yeah, sorry, this is again too reduced. Okay. Then you explain if you want to explain it, but also it's the same thing we explained there up on the table. Okay. Yeah, but this one is just to show you how you can do a pie chart. Okay. The rest of the things, you playing around with things, understanding them and seeing, okay? And even remove this or reduce this further, okay? Or just leave it like that. It's no problem. The rest are just you to make sure you think is organized as yourself. That is it. I want to draw now what is called a cross tabulation. I want to do 2 or more variables at the same time. How do I do it? Playing around with the pivot table as we go to conclude now. I want, for example, if they ask you a question, let me look at the data, then I ask a question. And that is what I'm also going to do in your coursework, that I want to get how many males had a fatal accident. Let's first think together. How many males had a fatal accident? What are we going to do? Let's first discuss at that point. And that is how interviews normally come when you're doing interviews for data analysis. How many males had a fatal accident? Even in your workplaces, you may want to know how many females have acquired loans if you're in a loaning institution. You may want to know how many refugees, for example, have benefited from the scholarship program that Francis runs. Those are 2 variables at the same time, 2 or more variables. What are we going to do? Let's first discuss before we can go to the pivot table.
To know how many male you say have a what?
A fatal accident.
The simpler way for you to do that for me is to do a drop down, a failure drop down. In doing a failure drop down, you'll be able to see how many males that have that accident.
Very good. Very good, Francis. How do we do it? Pivot table will sort you out, Joy. You are saying, I want to know how to do the drop down. Don't worry. Very simple things. Pivot table will sort you out. I will show you another easier way. You may want to analyze that about the males only. I will show you about the easiest way. Pivot table is here for you. So how many males had a fatal accident? You have to first know that I'm analyzing the gender and then the accident status. That is what Francis has just said. You highlight everything, do pivot tables. Okay. I'm going to put it under one of those where we did our pivot table. I'm not going to change anything. Okay. There, then okay. Requires at least 2 rows. Why? Then if I put it here, why is it bringing that? Okay. What is that saying? If you're using advanced filter selected, okay. These are some of the things you get when you're doing pivot tables, eh? But my table is not forming. Let me just do it on its own. I just run a new and I see. Yeah, it just come. So how many males? That is the gender. Okay. Add a fatal accident. Then I go to accident status. If I click on it, see how it comes. If I click on it. But if I just pull it and put it row and under the columns, you see what comes. Okay. Then I either go to the male or then I go to the gender and drag the gender to the what? To the values. Okay, that is what comes. I normally remove this blank by just removing it like that. Okay, this is it. How many had a fatal accident? If we are doing in terms of numbers, we just go and say they are here. Okay, they are here. Okay. How many males had a fatal accident? That is it. Now, if you want to see it even clearly, you can do a pivot, you can run a graph. How? When you have two variables together like this, when you just bring your cursor, it highlights here, just click it here. Remember, when you are doing the first one, you are just highlighting it like that. But here, you just go, click everything, insert recommended charts. They are there. I can do this. I can do
So
any of this.
this is
Yes,
what I
please.
was talking about. This is what I was talking about. To just leave here and just do your visual.
Very good. Yes, you come and do your visuals, Francie. Thank you. Okay. Even if you do that, you have gotten it right. Okay. Uh, how do you bring the numbers in it? I want to make this very organized. Remember, I've not yet beautified my graphs or my charts. I want to make it organized. How? I want to bring my numbers. Come to the green, right click on it, then add data labels. There. Come to this color, right click, add data labels. There. Come to the blue, any of those, right click, add data labels. It comes. But I can still beautify this more, colleagues, by going up and then I say the design. Then there's this change color if I want. Okay. You can change color here. You can see. Those things you see in a graphs and someone's graphs are looking nice. You can also do it. Can change here, can change there. Okay. Like that. Okay. I always like that. Let me maintain this. I can also still switch. There's this switch and it looks like that. Okay. The males, female. I think this is better for me. So that I have males, females, males, females. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to ask Joshua. Then I'm going to ask our friend from Lesotho. Keep in mind that the darkest, sorry, put in mind that the darkest is for females, or the deep blue one is for females, okay? This is for males. So I want to ask Joshua, how many males had a minor accident? How many males had a minor accident? Joshua, are you there? You can also see it from the graph. You can also see it from this one. There's no problem, okay?
Thank you, sir. The males who had a minor accident there were 27.
Thank you.
27.
Thank you. That is the answer. My friend from Lesotho, how many females had no accident? How many females had no accident? Our friend from Lesotho, can you hear me? Conrad, can you support? How many males had no accident? Conrad, Arthur,
Thank you so much. The females that had no accident, they are 25.
very good. Lastly, maybe our friend Kevin, how many females had minor accident? Kevin, can you hear me? Immaculate support. How many females had minor accident?
There are 15, sir.
Good. Thank you so much. Yeah, so colleagues, this is how easy you do your data analysis. Not so complex. Very okay. You can even take this table there in a Word document, you organize and explain. As simple as that. Okay? Now, allow me say this. I think we are going to end at this point, okay? I wanted you to have the knowledge of how do you analyze categorical, how do you analyze continuous data, which I do believe now you have knowledge in. That's one. Two, I wanted you to be able to look at your data set and then you give it, you explain that this figure, this is where it is. That's why I was asking how many this, how many that, okay? Three, I wanted you to know how you can have a frequency distribution table for categorical data, organized the way you see it on the screen, okay? And how you can do cross tabulations, okay? The rest of the other things are quite simple. You can always do self-learning and then you understand them. I can also give you, there's something Francis has dropped on our WhatsApp group. Please go on YouTube and then you learn data analysis using Excel for beginners. Start from there. Self-learning, okay? Then I'm also going to today I'm not going to teach you how to use Kobo Collect. If you want that, we can discuss that, but I'm going to share with you a YouTube video. I am one of the certified trainers of Kobo Collect in the country. Okay? Where people they engage me on that, they reach out even companies. I'm one of those people. I will share with you where I also learned from. No, I never sat in a class for that. Okay? How you can do data collection, how data comes into the system, and then you can. But if you want, we can do that later on when we have finished our consultancy skills, which we are doing from tomorrow. And then we finalize it. That one will need only like 2 classes and we get it done. Okay? Yeah, so I'm going to share with you a coursework. Please, class coordinators, advise, are we going to use group work, jumbled group? Are we going to use another group engagement so that people can, you all contribute and then you'll be able to learn? I once again want to show you that this is a quick way of how you can Should I say how you can eat money? How you can even come for a master's course at Utamo and you pay your tuition without any problem. Okay? Okay? Someone will give you a data set and say, give me 300K, give me 500K. Okay? Please, if I send someone to you to support you, be open and support. Okay? Be open and support. Don't feel shy to support anyone. Don't feel like you don't want to share any knowledge. Support and then be able to move on. I think, is there any question as of now? What we are going to do is I will give you a data set with the questions. I can even give you this very one that we have learned, and I give you another interview question, an interview for an M&E manager role. And you see how simple it is. Okay? An interview for an M&E manager role. I will give you that. You do it as a group. You share. The intention is to learn. Okay? The intention is to learn. So this time, I don't know who is going to be in charge of the groups. I want to have 3 groups. I'm going to form the groups myself and I share with you. Okay? I'm going to form groups myself and I share with you. And then I share with you the data sets. There's nothing hard. Just go and then you do the work the way we have learned it. I will share with you the audios or the recording for this so that you continue to learn even on your own. Okay? So if for you, you want to learn, you want to learn other things, okay? Now I wish you could give me like only 5 minutes so that I show you something again, different, okay? This one we have used Excel. I want you to see that these things are actually, you don't need to be a statistician to do all this, okay? You can do it at much ease. M26. Okay. I want to show you one using starter, how simple it is. Okay. Very simple. But what you're going to do, you're going to use pivot tables. Okay. I'm going to do starter. Very simple. I will only maintain original. I'm going to remove this because if the other ones, I have them. Okay. Don't worry. I want to upload my data set in starter. And then you see how simple it is. It is not one of the things we are learning. Okay, let me maintain this, the analysis. Okay, it's already there somewhere in our Word document. It's already here. Okay, so I'm also removing these steps. So this is what happens. I'm uploading it in Starter. Starter is one simple tool. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. This is starter, okay? It's very simple and very nice. This is my niche. This is where I'm very good at. File, I'm going to import from Excel. I browse to bring it here. It is downloads. So this is my data. It tells me first import first row is a variable name. Good. So what we have, starter has how many? Starter has this. You can see starter has all these windows. If I go to window, starter has the command window, and the command window is this one blinking. This is for command. Okay. It has the results window, this one here in the middle, the large one. It has the review window, review is here. It has the variables window, it is here on the right hand side. And then it also has what is called the do file, the do file editor. Okay. If that one, then we have the others, the data editor. The data editor. Now, this is how easy starter is. If I do BR, in a command, I do BR, browse, meaning browse, okay? Browse, enter. It shows me the data, okay? This is the data. This is what they call the data editor window. I can also, instead of doing BR, which is browse, instead of doing browse as the old word, I just do BR, the same thing, okay? If I want to edit the data, I just do edit, enter. You current, okay, it is currently open, which I'm not going to do it now. I want to analyze. You remember what we analyzed? The first one here was gender. I want to do, in starter, we just do tab, meaning tabulate, or give me a frequency distribution table for gender, okay? So I do tabulate, which is tab. I can also do it as tab, or then I bring gender is here. See the drop down, then enter. You can see it gives me females 70, the percentage is here. Males 130, the percentage, and then the total, which is exactly what we did here. We found here, then you copy the rest and put them here. That is starter. The same way Excel brought it is the same way also the other one brought it. Are we together? I know now some people are lost. If I want to tabulate another variable, I just do tab, then I bring the same variable. The age at first, that one I told you we don't analyze it to see how it comes, okay? It comes as single variable. That means it's a what? How you analyze continuous, you just say describe, which is des. What are we describing? We're describing this and giving what? Comma detailed. Okay.
You,
Let me
you
describe
what?
and I first. Yes, Francis, are you saying something? Okay, this one is giving us a description. Okay. Okay. If I do code book, if the command is wrong, it tells you the command is wrong. Okay. Code book. Okay, yes. So if I do tabulate, now tabulate is when you're getting a frequency distribution table, but you're doing it for each variable. Okay. Enter. This is for accident record. You remember the 83 and 117? Those are the ones. If I'm doing for the accident status, those are the ones. Then you just copy the rest and then you put in the table. This is starter. If I'm doing this, they are all simple. Okay? Just the same thing. If I want to do two variables at the same time, for example, I ask somebody to give me the males who had a fatal accident. I tabulate gender and then the accident status. Enter. Okay, it's here. Simple. Males who had fatal, they're 45. Males who had minor, they're 27. Okay, this is very simple. Okay, so I just wanted you to I just wanted to see this, but of course, starter is too wide, okay? I don't want you to do starter, use Excel, okay? Because starter has all these. Are you seeing all these? Whatever you see in statistics, whatever we studied at bachelor's in statistics, they are here. My battery is running low, but they are here, okay? So even if I do these summaries, tables, and tests, they are here. Summaries and descriptive statistics, they are here. The covariance, tetrachoric correlations, partial correlation, they are all here, which we are not going to do. Use your Excel, okay? The graphs, we have all the graphs, the bar chart, dot, pie chart, histogram, they're all here for us. This is for us who specialize in statistics. I wish to end here for now. I don't know if anyone, Francis, do you have something to say?
Yes, do you have the setup for that status?
Let
can
me
see.
see. I have so many statistical softwares because this is my area of expertise. This is my area of specialization. Let me see. I think I have them. So I have software. I have a full softwares.
I mean, for this one that you're just working for this status.
Pardon?
I mean the setup for this one that you're just
I
displaying.
even have the paid version.
Yeah, can you share if that possible?
I will share with you. So I have this whole folder, statistics.
Give us the
Then I
one
have,
that is unpaid for.
pardon?
Give us the one that is
Pardon?
unpaid for.
No, this one is paid for at once, so anyone else can use it, okay? It doesn't mean you're going to pay for it.
Okay.
I hope that is clear. I have SPSS, I have Starter, I have eViews, I have EpiInfo, CS Pro, EpiData, RStudio, Studio, EndNote, and Vivo, MaxKida, QGIS. All these are things I use. I have R. Okay. So, yeah, but I will share with you Starter. Okay. You want also SPSS?
No, I have that.
Okay. I will share with you Starter. Don't worry. Free of charge. Okay. You're not going to pay anything. That is the beauty of Otamu. Okay. Yeah. I will share with you Starter and then I share the login details. What has already been paid for. You don't need to pay for it again. So my battery is running low, but also by God's grace, we managed to complete what we had planned to do. I would like to appreciate you so much. I'm going to share with you the coursework for M&E now. I will share today, but in the evening, and I will share the respective groups. Please, if you're a group member, participate. There was a complaint that some people raised that you needed to some of you were not really very active in your groups. I request you to participate, okay, in your respective groups. And then this is a group work. Let all of you benefit.